Hi, this is Scott and Ernie from Renaissance Firearms, and we're up on Ernie's farm, and we're talking about hunting in Africa.
Correct.
And
I love it. Let's talk.
So next week you leave for South Africa.
Correct. Next Wednesday, fly out on South Africa Air.
Terrific. Leaving from New York City.
Correct.
Excellent. How long is that flight?
16 hours.
Ooh. that's a
I
long...
hope I can upgrade to business class.
Good. So tell me a little bit about how you got interested in Africa and safari hunting and so forth.
Watching Daktari as a little kid with Clarence the Cross-Eyed Lion, and watching all those shows like that when I was a kid.
Sure.
Born Free, things like that. Tarzan. Just always wanted to go to Africa, and as I became a man and started hunting and shooting a lot, I thought, wow, it'd really be cool to go to Africa one day. It's kind of neat hunting around here and hunting out west, but Africa, that's like the ultimate. So
I remember we were sitting at an NRA banquet, and there was a gentleman there who had African safaris. He had hunting safaris and he had photo safaris.
Yeah.
And for a while it was pretty quiet in the place. No one was bidding on those.
Until I did.
Until you did, yeah. And I was shocked when you did, but it turned out to be quite a trip.
It was the best trip I have ever been on in my life, and to me it's my Disneyland. It's just, I love it. It's so fun. It was just I can't wait to go back, and it won't be my last trip either. I'm already planning on either 2018 or 19 to go again.
Now, what part of Africa are you going to?
South Africa, the southernmost country. It's a country called South Africa.
Yeah.
And people use the word Africa like they use. Africa's a humongous continent,
sure.
And it amazed me when we went to Africa last time. We flew to Senegal, which is in West Africa. It's a country called Senegal. That flight was from Washington D.C. to Dakar, Senegal, was 8 hours. The next flight from Dakar to Johannesburg in South Africa was 8.5 hours.
Oh wow!
So it wasn't even
like
halfway.
Twice the trip.
So it's a humongous continent, and it's dozens of countries and lots of cultures, from the very northern part, very arid, very Sahara, down to sub-Saharan, and then tropical and jungle, and then South Africa is more of a high desert type area, sort of like Texas, New Mexico type area.
Cool. Last time, what were some of the animals that you saw that you would have hunted?
That I did shoot or wanted to shoot?
Well, yeah, I mean...
Or both?
Yeah, both.
The animals I shot were your typical plains game that most everybody would shoot on their first safari. Impala, kudu, wildebeest, things like that.
Okay.
A lot of fun, and blaze buck. And then there's a lot more there. There are a lot of, they call them antelopes. The whole general classification they call antelopes, the kudu, impala, they all fall into that, the horned animals. A lot of them are spiral horned. So I want to go back and shoot a couple more antelope type animals. Eventually I'd like to shoot something in the big five, in the dangerous game category.
Mm-hmm. What animals comprise the big five?
Elephant. It's big.
Yeah, elephant gun.
The biggest land mammal out there.
Yep.
Lion and leopard.
Yep.
Cape buffalo and rhino.
Wow.
And really, right now, rhinos are just so extremely expensive. We're talking $50,000, $75,000 to get a permit. Elephants are probably in the $25,000 to $50,000 range. Lions are not importable right now, so they're kind of off the plate. Leopards, they're still leopard hunting. That's in the $15,000 to $25,000, $30,000 range. But Cape buffalo are in like the $10,000 to $20,000 range, depending on the country.
Wow.
And that's probably what I'll go for, is a Cape buffalo. It's an extremely dangerous animal. They got a real bad attitude. It's kind of like looking at a buffalo that you owe a lot of money to. It's kind of their attitude.
I've seen the photos.
When they're looking
they're
at
pretty
you.
menacing.
Like, you owe me money and I want it right now.
So which animal would be in my price range? Like maybe a field mouse or something?
Yeah, a diker. It's the smallest horned antelope they have.
So on this trip, you've told me that you're after something pretty interesting.
Yeah, I was on, there's a great forum if you want to get interested in hunting in Africa. It's called the africahunting.com. And fantastic forum. They have a classified section for firearms and accessories. They have a hunt section. We can buy hunts. Professional hunters will advertise hunts. They have forums on different countries, different animals to hunt, where to shoot, how to shoot, where to get information about more equipment, just different calibers, different rifles, all that stuff. It's a world wealth of knowledge. It's just a fantastic site.
What's that address again?
AfricaHunting.com.
Okay.
And on there's that forum on hunts. And I was looking on there one day, and this guy had bought a hunt, and a family member got sick, so he can't go. So he just sold it to me for next to nothing. It's a giraffe hunt.
Oh.
And it's a really interesting hunt. It doesn't sound like your typical game animal, but it is. They're hunted very heavily in South Africa.
Mm-hmm.
They're raised for hunting. There's tons of them there. They're not endangered at all in South Africa. And it's not a dangerous game animal like a big five, but it's the tallest land mammal.
Yeah.
They're 15 feet tall or taller. Extremely thick frontal chest leather skin.
Yep.
So you got to have a really deep penetrating rifle, and it's a pretty dangerous animal that if you got close to it could kick. You go on YouTube, type in like lion, giraffe, and you'll see these videos of lions trying to attack a giraffe and getting kicked like crazy because giraffes can really.
You also mentioned that giraffes, not only are they tall, but they have really good eyesight.
Great eyesight, and they can smell, they can hear, see. So it's not like an execution. You're not going to walk right up and stick your rifle next to them and shoot it. You're going to have to really stalk it and work at it real hard to get one. And then I also plan to shoot a couple other animals, maybe a warthog. I wanted one last time, could not get one that was trophy size. I've got a couple other things in mind. We'll surprise you during the trip.
Sounds good. So speaking of trophy sized, I know that the shop has some pretty impressive trophies.
Yeah.
And that's from your last trip. Tell me a little bit about a giraffe and actually the trophy process in general. How does that work?
There's two ways to do it. You can either have the animals shipped over here, then go to use a taxidermist in the U.S.
Yep.
It's initially cheaper because you're only flying just the skins and the heads and the horns, so it's not a lot of freight involved. But the taxidermy fees are usually a little higher in the U.S. Or you can have it done all in Africa. The fees are less, but then you pay a little more on the shipping because you got to have it crated. That's what I did last time, and I was very happy with what I did. So, as far as this, I probably will do a pedestal mount. And I'm thinking by the front door, we've got that large. We got the double doors. We only use one, and we have the really tall ceilings. I'm thinking that looks like a giraffe should go there.
Sounds good. I know that last time you posted a lot of photos and commented about your experiences with the safari. And some people's objections to hunting in general, whether it's here in the United States or it's overseas, but especially in Africa, because zebra, giraffe, I mean, they make stuffed animals out of these animals. What happens when you hunt and eventually kill one of these animals?
Well, first of all, they make stuffed animals, but they're not tame animals. They are. There's just about everything over there can kill you, and that's kind of the fun thing about hunting over there. Just that thought.
Sure.
But if it wasn't for conservation dollars, there would really be no hunting U.S., Africa, anywhere in the world. A good example is Kenya. Kenya was the prime safari destination place in the 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, up to the 70s. When you thought of Africa safari, Africa hunting, Kenya was the first country that came to mind. Great safari destination place, had great infrastructure, English speaking, so it was real easy for Americans or Brits to go there. 1976, they banned hunting. The government banned hunting. And within just a few years, their animal population was just decimated. Poaching was the biggest thing. There's no conservation money coming in, nobody to care, and it's just gone. But at the same time, South Africa didn't have a lot of animals because of poaching and because of over-farming and not overpopulation, but people displacing animals. So when Kenya closed, South Africa's like a vacuum. They opened up, and they developed their they already had great infrastructure for mining and farming and everything. So they just started doing game ranching and developing that industry. And then right now, South Africa, Namibia, and a couple of the countries around there, fantastic hunting. And there's just, you hear some animals are endangered, yes, but if you're hunting an animal legally in South Africa, you've paid permits to do it. The PH is paying a permit to the government.
PH
is professional hunter.
Okay.
The PH is paying a fee to the government for a permit. You know, you're paying a fee. There's a lot of money going into conservation, a lot of money going into anti-poaching measures. So if it wasn't for the hunters there, or the eco-tourist, there'd really be no animals there to see. Everything there we're hunting is sustainable. They are raising animals, and it's a great business for them. The tourism in South Africa, whether ecotourism or hunting tourism, that's a third to a half of their economy.
Wow.
It's a tremendous chunk of it, mining being the other big part of it.
Wow. You know, as Americans, and I know with my upbringing, I wasn't raised on a farm. You know, I wasn't a hunter as a kid. So, I mean, where do you get your steaks? You go to the meat section at your grocery store.
Yeah.
So to see, you know, an animal hunted, to processing the animal and then to butchering it and then to consuming it, that's pretty amazing.
It is.
Now, do you, while you're in Africa, do you get to partake in the animals that you've harvested? Yeah. And how is it?
It's excellent.
Oh, I bet.
There's nothing like fresh meat. It's like going to your garden and picking a tomato. It's just, there's nothing like it. Or, you know, catching a fish and eating it right out of the river. It's just, or the ocean.
Sure. For those who are new to this, which I would suspect is many of the people,
and that's what we're
that
gearing
watch
this video for. We're trying to help teach people.
How did, you know, I know that you had bid on and won the trip at one of the NRA banquets, but how would someone get into hunting? Yeah.
Well, when you go to South Africa, you have to hunt with a PH, professional hunter, and those guys are licensed, they're educated, they've gone to school to learn to be a PH, they've gone through an apprenticeship. So it's not just like hiring some guy off a farm saying, take me out onto your farm and let's go kill something. So it's pretty tightly regulated. And the NRA banquets, when those guys, they're usually really top tier reputable PHs that are, they're just donating extra hunts they have or extra animals they have. So that's how I stumbled into the first one. And the second one I found on Africa hunting. And there's just a slew of people advertising on the AH forum that, you know, they'll specialize in dangerous game, specialize in plains game. They'll be in one part of the country, another part of the country. We want to go down to the coast. A lot of people want to go down to the Indian Ocean. They'll hunt down there, and then they go fishing, like one of my customers did last year.
Wow.
Some people want to be up in the northern section where it's more semi-arid. So there's a lot of different ways you can go, a lot of different animals you can hunt for. So I would just, if you're interested, just either call me, we can or come by and see me, be glad to talk, or just go on the AH forum and just start looking around, just start educating yourself. Another great resource is Craig Boddington. Fantastic hunter, been on probably 40 safaris in his life, maybe more, hunted on just about every continent except Antarctica. And he's got some great books on safaris, safari rifles, hunting in Africa. So it's a wealth of knowledge there as well. And fun, he's a really good writer, so it's a good read.
Now, if I remember correctly, you actually bid on and won 2 safaris.
Yeah.
That happened at the same, or concurrently, while you were over there. One was a photographic safari.
Correct.
And then the next was the hunting safari.
And they were both awesome. I mean, they were just so fun.
So if you're not a hunter, there's something there for you.
Yeah, that photo safari, it's a week at a resort, and it's like a 5-star resort. All the meals, I mean, they do your laundry for a nominal fee, a couple bucks a day for laundry. Take you out on game drives twice a day. It was close enough to the Indian Ocean, maybe 45 minutes away. You could drive down to the ocean.
Wow.
Awesome. So much fun.
So
but my wife actually had more fun on the hunting safari than she did the photo safari because it wasn't as structured, and it was kind of like, you know, we don't know what we're going to see. It's just, you know, we're just out in the bush, and just me and the PH and my wife, and it was just fantastic.
I mean, now, naturally, international travel involves a passport. In addition to your passport, I know last time there were shots, there were pills that you had to take to prepare to
last
get over
time
there.
I went to Senegal first, and Senegal had issues with malaria, yellow fever, so we got shots for pretty much everything on the planet, Hep A, B, cholera, all that stuff. South Africa, some parts are malarial, some parts are not.
Okay.
The place I'm going this time, there's no malaria issues, so I don't have to worry about that. If I go back next year where I'm going, or the year after, it's probably going to be a malaria zone.
Okay.
So it's just, you just plan in advance. It's nothing to
Sure.
it. Just make sure you have a passport that's good for 6 months past the date, and then some countries require entrance visas. I don't think South Africa does not.
Okay.
So you just have to check that. And your PH can help you with that, or the State Department's website can help you with that as well.
And you had to register your rifle ahead of time.
Yeah, last time I didn't take a rifle because we went to Senegal, then South Africa. Senegal would not allow us to bring a rifle in just to have without hunting.
Okay.
So I just rented a rifle from the PH, and they're a really good resource there. If you don't want to carry a rifle, they have a battery of rifles you can use, whether they're dangerous or plains game, whatever.
And you had that was a nice rifle that you used.
Yeah, it's a Sacco, this time I'm bringing my own rifle. I'm bringing my Merkel RX Helix. Beautiful rifle here.
That is a beautiful rifle.
Yeah.
I can see the chambers open.
Yeah. And a nice loophole scope. And the PH said there's a company called riflepermits.com. They're a South Africa-based company, and all they do is handle the permitting for you through the South African police. It costs like $40 or $50.
Oh, okay.
And it just took a couple of months in advance. Just like, I'm going next week, I'll fill out this form.
Sure.
But they took care of all the headaches, and then they will meet you at the airport and get you through customs and through the South Africa police to just make sure, verify it's your weapon and the paperwork's proper.
Sure.
So no issues. They're very, very hunter-friendly country.
Good. So I know that for North American game here in New Hampshire, people hunt deer with everything from a 243, 270 is very popular, 30-06. Those probably aren't the types of calibers you would use in Africa.
Actually, they are.
Oh, really?
The smaller antelopes, like 243, be adequate. And I almost did a springbok hunt a couple of years ago, and that's kind of like a large antelope, and they said 243 is perfect for that.
Wow.
What your PH will probably tell you is if you're comfortable with it, bring it within reason. Like most of the antelope type species are elk size or maybe slightly larger. So if it'll take down an elk in North America, it's probably good there. So 7 mag, 30-06, 300 Win Mag, those are great calibers. So usually they recommend the 30 cal range.
Okay.
This is a 9.3 by 62, which is a European caliber. It's kind of like between a 338 Win Mag and a 375 H&H. And the reason is the PH said, if you want to bring an .6, it's great, but for giraffe, very limited where you can shoot the animal. And he said if you want to do any kind of, if you had to do a chest shot like it was front on, you really want something with more penetration. So he said 375 or 9.3 would be perfect.
Okay.
But for most people, they're just doing plains game. 270, 708, 7 mag, 300 Win Mag, 300 short mag, 30-06. Those are great calibers.
Oh, so that's the kind of stuff we use around here.
And they want you to be comfortable with your rifle, practice with your rifle. It's not real common in America, but in Africa, everybody shoots off of sticks. They'll just they'll stand up, put their rifle in that crotch there, got a real steady shooting position.
Yep.
So I'd get a pair of sticks, practice on those. I'd never used them till I went to Africa the first time and loved it. They're more common now than they were years ago, but.
Well, I just shot your rifle the other day off of the sticks, and it was really nice.
It's like almost like having a little portable shooting bench with you.
I think my group was a little tighter than yours.
Yeah, right. When you only shoot at 20 versus my 200, they're going to be tighter.
How about some of the other gear? I know that we have a lot of bags. I know we have rifle cases. We have the Pelican stuff that's coming in. What are you bringing?
Before I finish that, I was mentioning on the rifle, just get a really good scope. And get a scope that's appropriate for once you're hunting. Like in the East Coast here, we hunt tighter, denser areas. I bought a 1 to 6 power scope because I'm probably going to be shooting anywhere from 10 to 150 yards. Most of my shots last time were between the 40, 50 yard range. A couple were 125, 120, 135, 85 yards, something like that.
6X will do it.
Yeah, we're not shooting antelope at 200, 300, 400 yards like out west, although there are possibilities for that. You would just talk to your PH in advance and say, you know, what's your concession like? What are we hunting on? So get a real good quality scope and then practice. Practice shooting off the sticks, without the sticks, practice with or without a scope, sitting, kneeling, standing, because you never know what you're going to have to do.
Sure.
You know, just don't, and then you know your limitations and be honest with your PH. And if he says, hey, you think you can make the shot? Don't say, oh, of course I can make the shot. What do you think I am? So, yeah, just,
John Wayne.
Yeah, just be honest with yourself, and because you don't want to. The worst thing you can do is wound an animal over there.
Right.
Because one, you're going to pay for it, but well, most of all, the animal's going to suffer. You really don't want that.
Right.
But then you're going to pay for it too, because you're going to have to pay the trophy fee no matter whether you got it or not. You're going to pay that.
Yeah.
So,
makes sense.
So, other gear.
Clean kill.
I always carry a day bag. Last time, my wife and I just took these small Drago bags. They were sling bags. They sling over one shoulder.
Yep.
Multiple compartments. Great bag. This one actually has a place in the back you can put a laptop in, so I love that. Yeah. Hers was slightly larger. Mine was the small one. And you could put like a day's worth of stuff in there, a sweater, or if you're wearing in the morning, if it's cool, you can put like a lighter shirt in there to change into later. Toilet paper, bottled water, camera, pair of gloves.
Speaking of cameras, and that's why you're bringing your laptop, you're going to take a lot of photos and maybe some video.
Yeah.
Nice.
I got this other little cleaning stuff. Otis makes some great, really small stuff. That's everything from a 17 to a 12 gauge you can put in there. And I'll fine tune that. I'll take out some of the stuff.
Sure.
And then maybe put a couple of these chemicals in there.
Yeah.
So that's really all I'll need. That's got the cleaning, not a rod, but it's a flexible wire thing that you can pull through the bore.
Sure.
So you can pull a patch through there.
Well, you're smart to make it as light as possible.
Yeah,
I mean, they say ounces or pounds once they're on your back.
They also make these Otis rip cords, which are
those are
fantastic.
Great.
Yeah, I mean, I love these things. And just a couple of Otis cleaning cloths. Otis owns the company, owns the market and compact stuff. They do it for the military. I will bring some Laura bars just because I love snacking on these things.
Sure.
Because if you're out in the field, you know, you're not going to be able to run back to the kitchen and get a snack.
And if you miss, you might be eating Laura bars for dinner.
Yeah, bring quality ammo back to the rifle. Don't bring junky stuff. If you're going to Africa, you don't want to skimp on ammo, so don't buy the cheapest stuff you can buy. Get quality stuff. This happens to be Nosler.
Even the box is beautiful.
Yeah, no, that's really cool looking. Nosler Dangerous Game stuff.
That's some amazing ammunition.
Yeah, it's also
super precision and expensive, I'm sure.
Should we show these?
Sure. Hey, I mean,
you gotta go. One wipe Charlie's, and you're out in the bush. These were fantastic in Senegal too, because Senegal is very undeveloped, very third world country, and we go to a gas station, and it'd literally be just a hole.
We can at least be civilized with our
bring this and a flashlight, because
a
lot of the bathrooms we went to in Senegal had no lighting in them.
Sure.
So it's like, oh man, it was miserable. Not so bad for the guys. Quality pair of binos, because you don't want to be looking at game through your rifle scope. Not a smart idea.
Got a pair of Vortex there.
Yeah,
some nice binos.
Yeah, great binos. And like I said, flashlight.
Yep.
Leatherman.
Yeah.
I love this tool because this is their super tool. So it's their big one, big pliers. Got the knife, got the screwdrivers, and this one has the accessory little bits.
Oh, that's great.
Like I'll bring some Torx bits, and it's got the hex driver right there.
Oh, excellent.
So
opener.
I can bring the Torx bits for the scope, anything I need there. So it's kind of all set.
Smart.
Yeah.
Doesn't take up much room at all.
Yeah. It's just something I put in my kit.
Any rain gear?
No.
Doesn't rain. Okay.
Well, I mean, you'd want to know in advance, and I'm not going at a rainy season.
Okay.
They do have a rainy season and a wet season. I'm going the dry season.
That makes sense.
Quality knife, Benchmade.
Sure.
Another thing I do that's kind of smart is, I just take and put a bunch of meds in one thing, like Alka-Ments for upset stomach, Advil PM, Pepto-Bismol, vitamins, kind of put them all in one. So you don't have to be carrying lots of different things.
Benadryl if you've got allergies or if you get stung or something. Sure.
So, non-prescription stuff you can easily put like that.
Oh, that makes sense.
And that's pretty much, there's other things you'll want to carry that you'll think about.
I notice you have your prescription Wiley X sunglasses on.
Yeah.
Need sunglasses.
Yeah, sunglasses and a hat are a must.
Ah, okay.
It's really sunny.
Yep.
And even though
brimmed hat.
I'm going in the winter, technically, because we're south of the equator, it'll be in the 70s in the day,
sure,
40s at night. So it'll be sunny and warm, and you just want to protect yourself.
You've got your vest, carry your gear.
Yeah, I can put stuff in this, and I'll carry a light jacket as well.
Nice. That sounds good, Ernie. Sounds like you're geared up and ready to go.
It's just common sense. Just think about what you would take if you were hunting here. If you were driving to, Montana or Canada or Nova
even
Scotia
Alaska,
or northern Maine to go for hunting for a few days, think of what you'd carry.
Sure.
And just tailor it to that climate.
Right.
'Cause it's not the same climate, obviously.
And it's not like you need to bring all of your gear at all times.
Oh,
you're
no.
gonna have a base.
You'll stay at the lodge.
And then you're gonna pack for that day's
just
excursion.
go out for the day. And sometimes you'll bring a lunch with you. Sometimes you'll come back for lunch, whatever.
Cool.
But just bring, just common sense stuff. And they'll be supplying waters and stuff like that too.
Yeah.
So you don't have to worry about stuff like that.
Well, we're gonna do this again when you get back, and it'll be nice to see what the end up is, and then it'll be neat to see a giraffe at the shop.
Yeah. And like I say, any questions, concerns, just come by and see me. Be glad to talk to you and love to talk about this stuff. A lot of fun.
Sounds good.
But just listen to your pH and use common sense and expect the unexpected. Africa is a country of unexpected happenings. Things don't always go as planned. So just if you have an attitude of just be relaxed about it. Don't be uptight about it. And you may not see the animals you want to see to hunt. You may see something else, and just kind of roll with it.
For some, it's a once in a lifetime, twice in a lifetime thing.
3 times in a lifetime. 4, 5.
Have an awesome time. Can't wait for you to get back.
Thanks.